you said something about positive ego that I wanted to maybe challenge you a little bit on, which was that, when we give up this idea that we're so special and important, and we submit to the idea that we're really just this thread in the universe, I think that you do have to let go of the positive aspects of ego. And that's something that I've been wrestling with a lot, because I think that there are a ton of negative aspects to ego. What I'm trying to thread through is like, how can I use the positive aspects of ego? It gets back to the idea of like the soul, right? Like the soul is just like a word that we use to describe that thing that is just purely us. So I'm just curious what you think of that, because you also have a podcast and do a lot of things that are an expression of Andrew Murnane.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a great point, because I don't want to discount the reality of the experience that we have, like as much as I have recognized that, yeah, maybe it is just an illusion, this illusion of duality that we're experiencing. It still is what is. We still have the perception of division here, which allows us to have this experience. So when I think of ego, I don't think of it as a good or a bad thing. It just is, and it's actually a requirement for this experience. I think of it like our ticket to having this experience of duality. It allows us to perceive division, even if you can recognize that it's not actually the truth. It's still, our reality right now is we're having a conversation. I'm not going to discount that there aren't things happening here, and there are people who get into non-duality and they get into like the concept of it, and they almost take it too far where it's another belief and they discount the experience that they're having. But I do think when it comes to doing things, it's like when people get into nihilism or optimistic, whether it's optimistic or pessimistic, the main difference is when people ask, well, why do anything? My response is, why not? Because you can.
Yeah.
Because you can. And that's it at the end of the day. It's not necessarily because you have to. It's not even because you should. It's just because you can, and you have the ability. And being a human is very cool, and there's a lot of capabilities that we have. But I think as you're able to let go of the positive and the negative side of ego and all of those concepts that come with being a human and becoming rich and famous or whatever, like there's pros and cons to all of those things. As you're able to let go of those, you're able to come back more closely to the recognition of your reality here and now, and see that just being able to be on this Zoom call talking to a microphone, explain this while I use my hands a lot when I talk, while using my hands, and sitting here, and you being on the other side of the country, like this is a crazy experience that we're having right now.